Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be doing a comparison between Bull Durham, 1988, versus Field of Dreams, 1989. Alright, so let's get started on this with the leads. Bull Durham stars Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon. Field of Dreams stars Kevin Costner and Amy Madigan. Now, this one is very difficult for me because Kevin Costner does a different performance with both roles, and he does a great job with both. He is very tough and really cool in his role in Bull Durham as Crash. And on the other side of the coin, in Field of Dreams, he is this really sweet and great guy that you just immediately, side with in what he's going through in the story. On the same page there, Susan Sarandon does not have, she only has a handful of scenes early with Costner in the film. Most of her scenes are with one of her co-stars, which I'll mention in supporting. But it's not until near the end, the last maybe 20 minutes of Bull Durham, that you get those scenes with Costner and Sarandon. And when they do click and they are in those scenes together, my God, is the chemistry great with them two. And those love scenes between those two are very hot. On the other side, you have Field of Dreams, where Kevin Costner has a rock that he sides by, which is Amy Madigan's character. And she is there from the get-go with him by his side, helping him through this and being so understanding and cool. I mean, he's saying shit about, hearing voices.
If you build what, who will come?
He didn't say.
Ooh, I hate it when that happens.
Me too.
she's such a cool character. And, and then the sequence where she's in the, when the character is berating and putting down the book that was written by James Earl Jones's character in there, and wanting them to ban the book from being available in the community and everything because it's pornography and all of this shit. Amy Madigan stands up and does this kick-ass sequence, and she just steals that scene. She is amazing. And her victory dance after has Kevin Costner's trying to tell her that he figured out what the voice wanted to do. It's just, she's so cute and adorable in this role. But Susan Sarandon is also very good in her performance, even though, like I said, she's not in a lot of scenes with Costner right away, but she does shine in the sequences she's in, whether she's acting with him or not. And her character is just so comical and fun in the film, like a lot of the characters in Bull Durham. So this one is really hard for me. So much so that I'm gonna have to go with a tie on this one. I'm gonna have to give a point to each on this one because this is just too close for me. So let's move on to supporting and see if we can get a clear winner in that. All right, so the supporting cast in Bull Durham consists of Tim Robbins, Trey Wilson, Robert Wool, William O'Leary, and Jenny Robertson. The supporting cast in Field of Dreams consists of Gabby Hoffman, James Earl Jones, Ray Liotta, Timothy Busfield, and Burt Lancaster. Now, there's only really truly one name in the supporting for Bull Durham, and that is Tim Robbins. And at the time of that film, he wasn't a big name. Most of the other ones, they're great supporting actors. Trey Wilson was really good as a character actor, and it's a shame that only a year after Bull Durham came out, he died of, I think it was a cerebral hemorrhage. And that was tragic because that guy was such a good character actor. Another great character actor in this film is Robert Wool. I loved him in this, and I loved him in Batman as Knox. So William O'Leary, he's fine in here. He's not that memorable of a character. Jenny Robertson's really memorable, but she's not a name. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, on Field of Dreams, we have Gabby Hoffman is really cute as Costner and Amy's daughter character in there, and she's really good, and she was a really great child actress to begin with. So yeah, she's really good in that role. James Earl Jones is amazing in his part. He doesn't come in until late in the film, but when he does, he steals the show. Ray Liotta is very understated, playing Shoeless Jackson, and he is just so good, even though he's playing the character very under what you would normally expect from him as an actor. It just works. Timothy Busfield, he's playing the dick brother to Amy Madigan's character, and through most of the scenes you're hating his ass because he's a douche. Burt Lancaster, my God, legendary actor, and he shows why he was legendary in this performance in this film. Even though he, like James Earl Jones, he has limited screen time in this. He doesn't have a lot of screen time in it, but both those actors still make the most of what screen time they have. Now, James Earl Jones does have more screen time than Burt Lancaster does, but, Burt Lancaster was such a legend that he could have taken 5 minutes of screen time and still beaten out most actors with 20 minutes of screen time. I don't think he beats James Earl Jones in this. They're pretty equal in this film as far as how great their performances are. But it is quite different between the two. There's still humor in both films. Field of Dreams, the humor is more just cool little moments, like I said, with Amy Madigan and stuff like that. And when the players show up on the field, one of them cusses.
Weaver, nice. Sorry, kid.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Stuff like that is just, that's fun. It just makes you chuckle. Whereas Bull Durham, it's just full on. There's laugh riot kind of fun stuff going on in there that'll make you crack up. But just based on a really great supporting cast, Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give this one to Field of Dreams over Bull Durham on this one. So, let's move on to story. Story on Bull Durham. It is a fun film with baseball as the background for it. Everything that happens in it is based around baseball, and it is a fun story. It's not taking itself too seriously, but it still has moments where the characters grow and do become more serious in the story. Whereas Field of Dreams is a more supernatural film with baseball as its background. So they both have the baseball element to them, but they're different types of films, whereas one's a fun film, one's a supernatural film. And it's a supernatural drama. It's not a supernatural film like, something that's more, creepy, scary, supernatural. The voices that Kevin Costner hears throughout this, it can be creepy, hearing the... if you build it, he will come. That voice has been speculation throughout the years since this film came out of who that is. I'll get to the rest of that discussion when we get to direction. But as far as the story goes, I am going to have to go with Bull Durham on this one, just because the story is much more fun and just more easy to just get into and enjoy. Whereas Field of Dreams is the supernatural elements might make people go, what's going on? It might confuse people, so I think Bull Durham is the more film that you would be able to go into and be able to just enjoy without being weirded out or creeped out by some elements that are in like Field of Dreams. But both are great storylines. So this was another one that was really hard to choose. But I'm going to have to go with Bull Durham on this one. All right, so let's move on to direction. Bull Durham was directed by Ron Shelton. And Field of Dreams was directed by Phil Alden Robinson. Now, Ron Shelton directs Bull Durham. He knows what he wants. You can tell it. He knows what he's wanting with all the framing of the scenes and setting up the story. And the way he puts it together it's just, much like in story, it is just fun how he directs the film. Those weird little sexual moments with Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins in here are so well directed that it just makes you you're just looking at Tim Robbins and thinking, what the hell are you listening to this girl for? Even though some of the stuff she says does kind of kick in and start helping him on the baseball diamond. It's just, oh my God. But very well directed, though, as a film. And those final moments where he directs Costner and Sarandon to finally get together, and those love scenes that they have, oh man, he just beautifully puts those things together. On the other side of the spectrum, though, with Phil Alden Robinson, his direction is also very good on this. It is much more of a slow burn, the way he directs it, the way he puts it together. as far as the story, but it builds in a way that intrigues you. You're more intrigued as the story progresses and everything. This is another tough one. I think I'm going to go, as far as direction, I think I'm going to go with Ron Shelton, which, if you're keeping track, that gives Bull Durham the win with 3-2 because there was the tie. So, but yeah, these two films are great films. If you have not seen either one of these films, and maybe you haven't seen them because you're not a big baseball fan, who cares about the baseball part of it? Both of these films have a very good story. One is a fun one, like I said. If you want a fun film that has cute characters and just fun dialogue and everything, Bull Durham is your film. If you want a more serious, supernatural element film, go with Field of Dreams. But I really enjoyed both of these films. But yeah, I think Bull Durham takes the win as far as the better of the films. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my ratings on this? Or do you disagree? Do you think Field of Dreams is the best of these films? Let me know in those comments down below. And, as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Alright. Hope you have enjoyed this versus night. And I hope you will join me tomorrow for another horror movie night. Thanks for watching.